We discuss these stocks with market experts Samir Dalal of Natwarlal and Sons and Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking. Gentlemen, morning. Thanks so much for taking the time out today. Before I start talking about these stocks, let's get a market comment going. Samir, what's your view right now on the markets?
Hi. It's a little difficult to understand what's really happening. I mean, you see on one side FI sales continuing to happen.
Okay.
That is continuously putting some pressure. Your domestic buying has subdued a little bit. Probably could remain a little lower. So I believe the markets in the near term could see further downside and go back and test its lower levels. Having said that, I think at the lower points, I would definitely look to buy into the markets. Stocks are trading at reasonable valuations for many of them. So I think 7540, 7550, what the Nifty had made at the lower levels, would probably hold. So at that point, I would probably turn a little bullish, but in the near term, it's a little difficult to predict, how volatile it could be on both sides.
Fair. Ruchit, in terms of technicals here, what's it looking like? Have we somewhere tried to form a base around the 7700, 7720 mark, or you foresee some more weakness in the near term?
Good morning, Priyank. We believe that this next 2 or 3 trading sessions of this week would be very crucial to determine the short-term trend of the market. 7690 is a quite crucial support zone for the market, and in fact, if the Nifty hold this support level, then we may see a good bounce back coming in the markets in near term. However, if 7690 is breached, then that 7540, 7550 zone would again come into play. So probably in the initial part of this week, Nifty should not break this 7690 in case if it has to give any pullback move. So we have been short in the markets from high levels, and at current levels we are advising our clients to book some profits on the short positions. We are not initiating any fresh longs unless we see some bullish pattern formation, but at least short positions should be covered for once over here. 7690 would be the crucial support level to watch, which if breached, then only we will see continuation of this down move.
All right, so keep an eye on some of those levels and let's see how that really plays out. But let's get back to our stock list then. Coal India is one counter which has been in focus today, reacting to its set of earnings. Samir, thoughts on Coal India?
We discussed this once back also in the past. On valuation fronts, Coal India is not expensive. And results the stock is down today because of the results being below street expectations. Now, when I look at Coal India, I do believe the company will continue to do well. Volumes will increase. The e-auction prices, which were lower in the current quarter, is not going to continue. Once you see some improvement in the international prices, which have already happened to some extent, you will see the e-auction prices moving up. So you could see the stock rebound and move up. But what I said even the last time around in Coal India, and which I continue to hold, is the biggest problem for them is every time the stock moves up, you keep hearing news of government wanting to divest further stake through an OFS. Now, every time that happens, the stock moves up, you see the stock correcting down. So from a long-term point of view, even though valuations are attractive, I would not look to aggressively buy into it. But from a trading point of view, this is a great opportunity. One can look to buy it. You'll get a 10 to 15% hike up. Book your profits. Wait for the correction because the news of the OFS, like I said, will keep coming. And you will get an opportunity to re-enter the stock at a lower level.
All right, so that's Coal India. Technicals though, Ruchit, how are they looking for Coal India right now?
I think 315, 320 is a very crucial support zone for Coal India, and we have seen that in the last almost 1.5 months the stock is consolidating and it has not given any directional momentum in spite of markets going down one side. So I think this support level could hold in near term. Any opportunity around 325 if it comes, and for short term traders it could be a good buy, and on the higher side 340, 345 could be seen in near term.
All right, so that's as far as Coal India is concerned and the way the technicals are panning out. Currently, the RSI at 47.4. Let's talk about Infosys as well. Samir, your thoughts on this large cap IT major, Infi?
Infi is down today again because of the selling pressure that is being seen in TCS. TCS has reached its 52-week low. Now, when you have the industry leader correcting, you're going to see some amount of selling pressure in a stock like Infosys as well. Although on a valuation basis, once again, I think Infosys is not expensive. There's a lot of talk in the market, and as everyone is talking that the market share increase that the Indian IT companies had over the last few years is not going to continue, since most of the international players also now have their bases in India. How I look at it is there is still a huge amount of growth left for the IT space. Infosys will continue to retain its market share and will probably grow marginally. We believe growth for the IT sector will continue, although it may be at the lower levels. You may not see the high 20% growth levels, but you might see the anywhere between 12 to 14% growth. Given that trading at about 16.5 times 1 year, 6 month forward is not expensive. So at this point, and even on further corrections, I would continue to add Infosys to my portfolio and increase my stake in the company. So I like Infosys from a longer term point of view.
Okay. Ruchit, on the technicals, is there a strategy for Infosys?
Technically, today we have seen that the support level has been breached with a gap down opening. So, today's by the end of the day, it's very crucial that this today's gap should be filled. If by the end of the trading session this gap is not filled and the stock continues to go down, then probably the medium term support is placed around 1040, 1045. So the stock may correct up to that 1040-45 mark.
All right, get the RSI going for Infi as well and how that's panning out. In the meantime, the markets are trying to make a little bit of a recovery as well is what we're tracking. RSI for Infi is 35.9. Pull up the Nifty intraday for you quickly and just get a quick mention going on the markets as well. Now you're seeing just a 15-point cut. There you go. The Nifty is slowly recovering from the day's lowest point and it's inching up a little bit. Let's see if we do get to see the Nifty in positive or not. But so far, 7746 now is what we are quoting. That's a 15 to 16 point move lower on the Nifty. Let's continue with our stocks, and Oil India is the other one that we're talking about. Samir, what's your thought on Oil India?
Oil India, like all other crude extractors, are going to face a problem because if crude prices do not rebound, their profitability will remain under some amount of pressure. Going forward, I'm not of the view that we will see any hike in the crude oil prices in the next 6 months. None of the Middle Eastern countries or none of the OPEC countries or anyone is looking to cut their production. They all want to retain their market share. That is keeping a glut in the oil space. Now, with that expected to continue for the next 6 months to a year, with crude not moving up, Oil India is not going to be a stock that is in favor for the market. You're not going to look at any valuation re-rating. So every rally that comes in the stock, I would look to probably get out. There are other opportunities and other stocks in the market which could deliver better returns. Oil India is something I would stay away from in the near term.
All right, so that's as far as Oil India is concerned. Ruchit, technicals on this one?
This stock has breached its previous support levels of 370, and what we are observing on the charts, and that after this stock has breached its support levels, the selling has been seen with increasing volume. So that's a negative sign for the stock, at least in the near term. So unless any other reversal signs are seen in the stock, I think one should clearly avoid doing any kind of bottom fishing over here.
All right, stocks trading at a RSI of 16.9 now. It's already below the oversold level of 30, and it's still trading quite weak today. 4.3, 4.4% lower. Another one which probably has a similar RSI is Eros International. The stock's been hammered in the last couple of trading sessions. Samir, anything on Eros International? There have been so much of news developments on the parent that's listed in the US market. What do you make of Eros at the current level?
I don't have any call on Eros. Like you said, the news internationally is what's keeping the stock price subdued.
Okay.
I don't want to give a call out on a company which I don't have any information on. So I'll take a pass on that, please.
Sure. Ruchit, charts clearly have seen quite a bit of a meltdown the last couple of days. Today also, it's a lower circuit of 10%. What are you advising clients to do with Eros?
Well, this stock continues to form this low bottom formation. In fact, at high levels, we had already advised to exit from the stock when it breached its support of 420.25. Now, I think still no signs of reversal. The volumes on every up move is getting increased with the selling pressure. So probably I think the selling could continue in this stock going ahead. One should clearly stay away from this stock rather than doing any bottom fishing here.
All right, the RSI, well, 21.2 now is what we're seeing. Pretty much similar to where Oil India RSI was somewhere on 16.9. This is what we've seen. All right, Shree Cement also is the other one that we've been tracking. Now, cement stocks have seen some bit of traction of late. Shree Cement is another counter that we've been focusing on today. It's down nearly 4%. Samir, are you playing anything from the cement pack? And if Shree Cement is one of those stocks that you're watching out for?
Yes, Shree Cement is definitely one of the cement stocks in the cement space that one should keep an eye on. It's the fastest growing cement company. Very rarely do you come across companies like this where they've been able to grow from a minuscule size to a much larger size when the industry has not seen that kind of a growth. So Shree Cement is a great company that's done well. However, when the entire cement space is seeing low demand, Shree Cement, which of course has been bucking the trend, cannot continue bucking the trend endlessly, right? At some point or the other, it is going to fall in line with the entire cement industry. Now he's become a reasonably sized player, so it's not like a small amount of cement which is there, which he can push into the system and still manage to get his higher utilization. So he's going to fall in line with the industry. Having said that, once that happens, you will see a slight correction in the valuations. I mean, I like Shree Cement. I'm positive on it. I think there's great opportunity from a longer-term point of view when the cement demand rebounds, which could be another 6 months to a year. But in the near term, with all cement counters, ACC, Ambuja, Ultratech, all correcting, Shree Cement is going to continue to see some amount of pressure. Having said that, the only saving grace for Shree Cement is it's quietly very closely held company, not large free float. So the selling could subside a lot faster in this stock than in many others. So I would look at acquiring Shree Cement at corrections. I think long term is great. In the short term also, if somebody is looking from a trading point of view, you can buy it at the current levels or even 1% or 2% down and look at about 12,500 as the resistance and book your profits at that point.
All right, technicals and Ruchit, what do you make of Shree Cement?
Yeah, although the stock has been falling in last few days along with other cement companies, but if we just observe the long-term charts, weekly or monthly charts of this company, then probably it's in a strong uptrend, and this correction is just a part of the uptrend. So probably I think on the lower side, the long-term support comes around 9,800 zone. So in near term, we may see some pressure coming in up to 9,800. But definitely, if it comes around that 9,800 support level, then investors should use that as an opportunity to again buy this stock.
All right, so that's as far as Shree Cement is concerned and what's happening on that counter right now. ITC is the other stock that's actually gaining today, 1.6, 1.7% higher is what we've been tracking. Samir, any thoughts on ITC?
I've been bullish on ITC for some time, and I continue to remain bullish. Okay. For the last, say, 6 months, there's been constant talk of the decreasing volumes in cigarette sales because of the higher prices, higher excise duty, which led to higher prices. That is something that the market has factored in. But what the market is not looking in is that eventually this dip in demand always recovers. So I believe this volume decline in cigarettes is going to recover. That will ensure that the cash cow business of ITC continues to do well. Now, ITC has done a lot of expansion in the FMCG space. The product portfolio has increased, the reach has increased. Now, all of that is going to sooner or later start playing out. Yes, it has been 3 years or 4 years since, they started, and the scale-up has been a little slow, but I believe the scale-up will start increasing now, and I believe that the return on capital from that business will also start increasing. So overall, I think the profitability for ITC over a long-term period is going to continue to grow quite well. Valuations are relatively inexpensive compared to most FMCG companies. So from that perspective also, I think ITC is positive. I think ITC at the current level is a great buying opportunity. I would not want to wait even any further. I would look to acquire this at every given point. I have a price target of about 400 maybe a year from now. And from a 2 to 3 year perspective, I think we could see a good compounded 25 to 30% CAGR. So I'd look to buy this stock at this point.
Ruchit, quick technical check as far as ITC is concerned.
325 to 330 is a good support zone for the stock, and if we just combine in with the RSI on the daily charts, then 40 levels around 40 has been acting as a good support for RSI on ITC. So probably I think the stock from near-term perspective also could give a bounce back from current levels, and on the higher side it could move up to 355, 360 in near term.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today and taking us through your perspective as far as markets are concerned and how you're reading a couple of these stocks which have been in focus today as well. Samir on the fundamentals and Ruchit sharing his technical take so far. In the meantime, take a look at what's happening as far as the index is concerned. It's almost moved into positive here.